hey, my child is feeling this way.
Kids say all sorts of shit that they don't mean.
And that's why there's an evaluation period with psychologists.
There are a lot of people that, as kids, they believe in their trans, and then when they become adults, they don't want to do it anymore. So do you want to risk all of those people that have
the CAS study? Come on, bring it up, Leaflet.
It's such a small amount. We're literally 1% of the population, like 1 to 2%. Like it's such a small percent of the people who end up regretting being trans, and it's not even usually because they regret actually transitioning. It's the societal.
So you're saying that there's such a small amount of trans people.
That is true. That is true, by the way, and I was saying that earlier. First of all, when we're talking about detransitioners, people that are trans and then they detransition, that is a minority of trans people, which is already a small minority. Okay, so trans people are like approximately 1% of the population, and then detransitioners are a very small, I think this person said like 2 to 5%. I thought it was like 1%, okay, but like, let's say it's 5%, okay, 5% of trans people detransition, and a majority of those people say that they detransition not because they wanted to, but because of harassment, because of a lack of support. That's it.
It was allowed. No, just because it was allowed before doesn't mean that there isn't possibly a problem with it. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that. They made a determination that there is some kind of effect through the. I'm not.
Oh wait, so the government had to take away the driver's licenses of trans people just because?
No, that's a completely different thing. You're conflating two different things.
Well, hold on. Well, this is kind of like a similar thing. Like they're just removing like rights and access to like.
Okay, pick a topic, and we'll talk about it. Pick one.
We're talking about this topic right now.
Which one? Can you restate it? That way I know exactly what you're talking about. Because you like kind of jumped around.
Trans people losing rights to our own healthcare and just dignity for existing.
Losing rights to your own healthcare. What do you mean by that?
The government is deciding that they don't care about medical reviews.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
They say that.
So there's a thing.
Shut up. They're saying we don't care that transitioning has been studied and gender affirming care improves the lives of trans people, and the government is deciding we don't care about those studies. We're just going to say no. That's bad.
Well, yeah, there's conflicting studies. There's conflicting studies. And again, like I said, I bring up CAS. There's a conflicting study that says that it doesn't actually do anything.
So you think it's okay for the government to just have the final say, be like, yeah, you just can't. Yep.
No,
I bring up CAS. I bring up CAS.
Don't think that the government should.
I bring up the one study that is questioned by everybody else that is an expert in this field, but it confirms my stupid fucking transphobic suspicions. And I'm also at the same time going to ignore all of the other empirical data.
For cosmetic things. It's a completely different reason. For aesthetic reasons. I don't think it should.
So our healthcare that's been studied, now it's just like a cosmetic thing, right? Like it's just cosmetic.
No, I think that the cosmetic reason is a reason that we should allow it, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
So can you explain this further?
Yeah, I think that people should be allowed to go for their aesthetics. That's it. As long as they know what they're getting into. As long as there is a and this is a very like libertarian argument. Like this is secular. This isn't like a religious thing at all. It basically goes like this, right? Like, I don't want the government telling people what they can or can't do, like tattoos and things like that. And like for me, the trans stuff is like along those lines. So like, as long as you're trying to reach a aesthetic that you want for yourself, I don't really care what you do. I really don't. The only concern I have is that you are aware of what you're doing. That's it. That you're able to actually sign that contract. That you understand what's happening.
I personally don't fully believe you.
Okay. Well, I mean, we want to say that.
Nothing.
I've said this on stream many times. You can ask my chat.
Yeah, I just personally don't fully believe you.
Okay. Well, there's literally nothing I can say about that. Then.
Yeah, but like, I want to know like.
I've been consistent about this. I've been very consistent.
I want to know how you have this position, but like it seems like you don't care about like the potential suffering that we go through while like experiencing like this healthcare from outside sources. Not even our healthcare like that's doing it to us. It's just people outside.
I understand that trans people are suffering. I just don't think that I think in most cases you're not actually you're not solving it through the methods that you're.
How do you determine this without a professional? Like what? Like, who are you to determine this?
Because your ideology is not rooted in reality. That's why.
What? It is rooted in reality. It's not even an ideology. Like, dysphoria is incurable. It's a thing we deal with. It's been studied.
Do you believe? Let me ask you a question. Do you believe that trans women and biological women are the same?
Trans women, biological women are the same.
Are they the same thing?
This is so fucking cringe. Like, what you
How's
just
it cringe?
This is just so they're natal women. I just don't care. I don't care. Like, what? I don't care.
This is your topic.
It's so cringe. I just don't care.
It doesn't matter how cringe it is. Like you can't just take an argument. You can't take an argument and then you don't want to talk about it because it makes you uncomfortable and you say it's cringe. Like that's not how things work.
It's not that it makes me uncomfortable. It's just like this position doesn't further anything I'm talking about. What are you like? What is the point? I'm talking about our healthcare, our specific healthcare. Do you like? Why is this a bad thing to engage with?
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
What is a woman? What is a woman?
I don't even know what you're talking about. To be honest, you're just kind of spurting out.
Give me a bit. I'm definitely BPD fucking girly up. One moment. I just gotta unmute for a second.
I hate Leaflet, man. I think I actually have real
hatred.
hatred.
Honestly, I think I'm pretty reasonable. I'm just being real. Like I'm not even like, yeah, like, you know, fuck trans people and like trans people should never be able to do. I'm not even like that far. I'm pretty moderate on the issue.
Sorry.
Moderate.
So I don't want to engage with the phenotype arguments and all that shit. I just
it's important though. It's important.
Wait.
Okay.
I will say that trans women are not the same as natal females.
Okay.
And that biologically speaking, after years of HRT, you can get closer to like the biological like definition of a woman than you would without that HRT. I think that's a pretty fair answer.
It's still different though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, there is a difference.
Okay, so you know, I'm not this I will not hound Ava about because it is kind of a this is a lot more semantic than like the fucking you know, infant versus fetus thing. Okay. Anyway, a woman in the biological sense, that makes no sense. Okay, there is no biological woman. There is no biological man. There is none of that shit. Okay, their biology is real. It is just not what's the word? It is not intralinked. It is not the same as gender. They're not the same thing. Okay, they are not dependent on one another. They are not. They are two separate things. Okay, the reason that people conflate them is because when you are born, your biology is assessed, and based on that assessment, you are ascribed a gender. Okay, that's it. But gender is an expression. It's the clothes that you wear. It's the way that you talk. It's do you wear makeup? What kind of makeup? That's what it is. That's what gender is. Okay? Biology is something else entirely. Okay? And biology is it is related to gender because of the aforementioned ascription, and also you can take hormone replacement therapy. You can change your biology to express your gender more thoroughly as you see it. Okay, but at the end of the day, gender is still an expression, and biology is just a means to that end. But anyway, for that reason, there is no such thing as a biological woman. There are cis women who were born and assigned woman. Okay, that's what a cis woman is. They were assigned girl. That's it. That's what a cis woman is. That's the difference
obviously,
between
but I think
them
it's a
and
pretty
trans
fair
women.
So like, here's my take on it, right? And people might get pissed off from this, but this is actually my take on it, right? That if you're
Wait,
okay,
wait,
go ahead. Sure, go ahead.
Obviously, natal women have development at birth that is not experienced by natal men. Okay, we'll say that too.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, so what I think then, right, is how do I explain that? Sorry, like my brain got scrambled for a bit. I like, lost the thread. I think that understanding the limitations of things, but then wanting to reach your aesthetic ideal, I think is okay. So
What
like,
do you mean by that?
so the understanding, right, that let's use like MTS for like the sake of argument, okay? That MTS.
It's more complicated than the aesthetics, so I just want to let you know early. It's more complicated than the aesthetics. It's way more complicated than the aesthetics. Like dysphoria is incurable. We treat the symptoms. It's been studied. Like we just like gender affirming care in the form of hormone replacement therapy just increases like.
But what is it?
and
What is being trans in the first place? Like, what is it?
I think it's when you're like, how do I explain this in like
It's
a
like you're
proper
one
way?
you're one gender, right? So like so you know, we'll use again MTS for the sake of argument, right? So a trans MTF person.
I
is a person-
agree that aesthetic is reductive, but for explaining this concept to the layman, I'm actually not really against it. Okay, because again, gender is an expression. Okay, aesthetic is an expression, but aesthetic doesn't refer to your like gender expression. Okay, it's more like, are you alt, or what like it's like what are you a fucking Etsy girly? Like what that's what fucking aesthetic is. Okay, or do you like a fucking vaporwave? Okay, that's an aesthetic.
that they want to be a woman.
It's not gender.
Yes.
Which is impossible. But hear me out, okay? Before you get in, it's impossible. But if it's your aesthetic to still want that, then that's up to you. That you should have the freedom to be able to pursue that aesthetic to its peak ideal that you want to reach.
It's more than aesthetic. There's like there's brain chemistry, hormone levels. Like some people like me, like
It's all part of it.
I will personally attest that like my mental state has personally improved ever since I started transitioning, because I was like at the brink before. Like
So can
I waited. Or,
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, go on.
Oh, so just out of curiosity, like what is so your mental state? Like, would you say that like you're I'm not trying to I
Yeah.
swear to you I'm going from this from good faith. So like
Yeah,
would you say that you're depressed, like as a person? Like, there's something that you're upset about.
Not because I'm trans. If I were to say yes, it's not because I'm trans. It's just because of the whole like world is what's going on. Like there's so much like horrible, decrepit. No, the trans experience is probably the most valuable thing in my life. It basically breathed a second life into me because before I transitioned as an adult, by the way, before I transitioned, I pretty much knew I was trans, but I didn't know how to describe it because I had no information available to me at the time to describe it. So like eventually, when I eventually like came to understand these things, I was given that second opportunity to explore life from the perspective that I always like understood myself to personally be.
So you have a sense of like self-worth of yourself, like without like it's not like externally sourced.
Yeah, like there's like a psychological like incongruence. Like the treating the symptoms doesn't cure the it quells the social stigma. And,
so if a person like and I'm really not trying to like there's a reason behind this. Okay, I'm not trying to be mean. So if a person told you that you are a man, would that ruin your psyche?
No, it's the passive self. This is different. Okay, we passively self-hate ourselves because we don't see ourselves like when we look in the mirror. Like it is a personal thing that like gender affirming care actually like alleviates because like there are like psychological incongruencies and like hormone imbalances and stuff.
When does the self-hatred end? That's my question.
Well, it never ends because it never ends.
So it's uncurable then.
Well, hold on, wait. The gender dysphoria symptoms never end. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, so how does it cure anything?
Wait. Go ahead. It's not that the hatred. It's not like the hatred doesn't really end. It's just like it's treatable. Like we hate ourselves passively, but we are being like treated for it. We're taking treatment, so we have a better life experience. So like we can feel better about this life that we're going through. Like it's not like we're trying to like just.
This is what I mean. This is why this is so toxic. It's like your entire thing is that. The entire thing is that you hate yourself eternally. Well, like,
why is it toxic?
Because you hate yourself eternally. That's not like it's not a solution.
I understand that it's toxic, but like it's like a medical condition, and this is studied. Like it's not like I'm just speaking out my fucking ass. Like like it's like like this is a thing. Like like it's not like we're just. Yeah, like some people are just like built this way. Like unfortunately, right? Like it's just like we need care for people like us.
Wouldn't you want to find alternative explanations? Like, if transition still makes you hate yourself to some level, and you will forever eternally hate yourself, then like how does that solve anything?
I'd rather hate myself being a woman than stay being a man.
But what if there was a way for you to find peace with that? Why is that bad for people to seek that?
I would rather hate myself being a woman than stay.
Trans people do not hate themselves. They don't just hate themselves. That's not what it fucking is, man. Oh, they want to express themselves differently than what they were ascribed at birth. That's it. That is all it is.
Stay being a man. I don't know how to explain other than that.
This is what I mean. Like it's a toxic condition. That's what I mean.
You can do both. You can transition and still study dysphoria. I'm still learning things about myself.
I think that the people that when it comes to like how to explain it, when it comes to
why would I forego a form of harmless treatment when like you're just wanting me to find a form of treatment that might not exist? Like I'll tell you right now, like if I could exist in a comfortable state without being trans, then sure, like cool, like awesome.
Yeah,
I explored it my whole life. My whole life I wasn't trans. I was trans, but I never transitioned until I like you know what I mean? Like, you can do both. You can learn about this stuff while you transition.
So I'm just curious. So if I had a pill that would make you not trans, would you take it? That would just make you no. And then you'd be okay with being that. Would you take it?
Personally, I like the trans experience.
So you like being depressed.
Okay, but that pill doesn't exist, and neither in treatment your treatment, which is talking them out of being trans, that isn't a magic pill either. I mean, it's so dumb, man. Like, what if we lived in Fantasyland? What if we lived what if a wizard could zap you with his wand and make you not trans anymore? Would you do it? Yeah, well, I don't know. I get maybe they would do that.
Wait. Personally, this is what I mean by like I don't speak for all trans people. Me personally, like if I were personally born, I'd rather have both. I'd rather have both, dick and balls and fucking pussy. Like, that is who I envision myself like kind of. But I'm not going to get bottom surgery. I don't care about that. Personally, my dysphoria extends to my facial features and my body structure because I went through the puberty of a man, and like without the information available to me, I couldn't understand what was going on in my mind or understand like I could have potentially held off on like the crazy puberty that I went through. Like it's harder for me to exist in this world right now because I went through male puberty. Females don't have to experience this when they try to transition to men because testosterone does such like damage to the body. No, testosterone changes your voice like irreversibly. Like yeah, like
yeah, but like even in a lot of cases, like in a lot of
like this isn't a gotcha. Like, like it's like the trans pill stuff. Like it's just like
this is like just a thought experiment. It's not.
I'm letting you know though. Like this is like our life, and like you can learn more about like people like us and like
what do I need to learn about it? Like why do I need to learn about it?
Well, you need to learn that you shouldn't have to say.
Fuck you! You're a fucking political commentator. You talk about fucking trans people all fucking day. What the fuck do you mean you don't want to learn about it? Then what the fuck are you doing here? What? What you just yap all day about trans people, about how they're transing the kids, how the trans kids need to be saved. What the fuck? Yeah, oh we're doing this. Oh yeah, hey, I'm so sorry that this is your intro to me, Velcaro. That's terrible. It's been a long time coming, okay? This is a debate with a person, and they are arguing with each other about this shit. And, she just said, I don't know if you were here for it, but she said, why should I care about your life experience or trans people? Why should I learn about y'all's life experience? When this is a VTuber that all day she talks about politics. She talks about trans people. She talks about what she wants them to do with their lives. Like, it's crazy. Let it out. I wasn't here and I don't know anything about it. Hey, ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss, chatter. Yeah, I'll replay it. Listen to this shit.
I'm letting you know though, like this is like our life, and like you can learn more about like people like us, and like we're all
like that's a completely reasonable thing to say to a person like Leaflet, especially in this context when they're debating about trans people and about treating trans people. It's like, hey, what, you could learn more about us. You could ask about what it's like. You could talk to trans people instead of just ridiculing them, telling them that they're fucking up their lives. You could do that.
Why do I need to learn about it?
That's what you need to learn.
Why do I need to learn about it? I don't know. Maybe because you're constantly talking about it all the fucking time. Maybe that's why.
So would you be okay then? Okay, hear me out then. Would you be okay then with a situation in which you could get whatever surgeries you want, whatever you want, but then society says you can't use the women's restroom, you can't do women's sports, you can't join any women's spaces? Would you be okay with that?
That's weird.
Why?
Probably not.
Yeah. So it's not about just you. It's about society too. It's about both.
What? No, wait, no. I'm saying I wouldn't be okay with that because
because it's about society. It's not just about you.
Would you be okay with everybody treating you like a man, but they allow you to get your stupid little trans surgeries? Yeah, no, man, that would be like fucked up. That's like fucked up when people do that, I think.
Yes,
I don't know.
It partially has to
Just
deal
my
with
opinion,
self-hatred,
though.
partially has to do with people, no matter what you say or do, they'll just mention you will never be a woman. You will never be a woman.
Why
You will
do I
never be a woman. You will never be a woman.
Why do I have to partake in any of that? Why do I have to partake?
You don't have to partake in any of that, but to our psyche, it damages us. Like, yes, do you understand the craziness it is to like have our medical care, scientific studies? Like,
that's my point. It's awesome. It's my point. I want that.
It's a universal experience.
Yeah, people don't call you a man over and over again. They don't say that you're not a real woman. And also, you are a public figure. You and Ava is too. Okay, so she opens herself up to this criticism as well. But like you don't get to complain about this shit. Public figure? Yeah, she's a VTuber. Yeah, just like, I mean, I'm a public figure. I may not have even 100 followers on Twitch, but yeah. Oh God, who are we talking about? This is a VTuber called Leaflet. Leaflet is a right-wing conservative commentator. She is kind of a libertarian type. But she's basically a Nazi. Basically. Anyway.
Can they determine your healthcare?
She is very extreme.
Can they determine your healthcare?
I don't think people should be able to for that.
Can those people who focus on you existing right now, Leaflet, can they change anything about your health?
She once, not too long ago, she called Palestinians subhuman orc people. You need to catch me up on this femboy thing and and her thing. There are no femboys in this video.
Okay.
I don't really buy into the entire narrative that
okay,
it's about the same equivalency as
Leaflet is a cis woman, I think. I mean, I'm not gonna transvestigate her. I don't know for sure. But anyway, Ava Lab, the bottom right, she is a trans woman.
Healthcare. I think it's a necessity, and that's fine. I just don't want anything. Like, I don't think everyone else should have to do anything to do with it, with your own self-perception.
They're trying to ban self-medicine too. So like you just hey, so you just
okay. Well, I guess
I don't you just don't understand. So I don't care what you're really doing. You just understand.
Okay, so
you don't understand why you're to be honest. I just don't care. Like,
yeah, but you're not talking about policing people's language, Leaflet. You're talking about barring trans women from women's spaces. That's a different thing. Okay, if you now at the same time, what you're talking about is important as well. But nobody is talking about fucking silencing the transvestigators of the world, the fucking crazy conservatives that are like, you'll never be a woman. We may point at them and we may say that's wrong, that's morally abhorrent, but nobody is saying like that is warranting prison or like any kind of punishment, any kind of lawful punishment.
I've had this stance forever.
I don't care what your public performative stances might be. I don't care.
Okay, so you don't care what my public performative stance is. What you care is about some strawman stance that you have completely created out of whole cloth and apply it to me.
Well, no, I'm just saying that you don't understand
what is
I'm saying.
the
Okay, well, how about if I said, well, your performative stance is that you're Argyle. What if I said that?
Wait,
and I just completely built a strawman of what I think you are, and then I placed it upon you. And I said, oh, it doesn't care, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't believe you.
Well, I haven't called you anything, have I?
Yeah, you're ascribing to me ideology I don't hold. You're
I
strong.
haven't
You literally built a straw
described-
man.
I haven't described
There's no
any
way.
idea. Have I? Wait, hold on, wait. Have I called you any like? Have I called you transphobic
You told
at
me
all?
you don't believe in what I'm telling you I believe. Which is it's literally the same thing.
No, I know you believe like what you believe. I just don't believe
You
what
didn't
you're
say
saying.
that.
What? I said,
You
I
didn't
said
say
I don't
that.
believe- Like what? Like
You're just making shit up.
So you're completely fine with like trans healthcare, like when doctors are involved and stuff, like even for minors.
No, not for especially not for minors. They don't know what they
Oh.
want. I told you my
Oh,
angle on
is
it.
it the surgery part or is it like the actual like
All
what's-
minors. They don't know what they're doing. Can minors
Well,
consent?
personally, my can we not do that?
Why are we telling someone is trans or they are a she? Why doesn't she just cover it? I am having problems with people calling others trans instead of she or he. I mean, trans people are real. They are not like cis people. Trans people identify as trans. I don't have a problem with them doing that, me personally. I understand what you're getting at, though. You know, you want people to be called what they express themselves as. Then tell them as she or he. Well, like, you know, this is a debate, and they are debating about trans people. They also debated about abortion earlier. And this person's trans identity, it plays into this. Also, they openly identify as trans. She openly identifies as trans. So yeah, I'd be calling her a trans woman. You're telling me that as trans she. So is the person a he or she? Her pronouns are she her. She is a she. Okay. So it's not that complicated.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's
So
related.
my personal opinion is that minors shouldn't be getting surgery at all, and they should probably get surgery until 18 or wait till 18. So that's my personal opinion. So let's not even go there, okay?
Great.
So what's going on with the so like what's wrong with like minors?
Puberty blocker
getting
still has an effect.
blocker?
It still has an effect on their
Okay,
value.
Haha, you're making it harder than it should be. How? Explain. I don't see how. I'm open to hearing you. I don't understand. It's not that complicated.
Or is it thing?
It still has an effect on their development.
Wait, who are you, Leaflet, to determine this? Who are you to determine
They're
this?
children.
Who are you to determine? Who are you to
Children
determine
prefer a
this?
special status in a special protected status in society.
Don't call a person trans. Call them a she or he. Okay. So it can be both. You can call somebody she or he based on their expression, and you can still recognize that they are a trans person. What you're basically saying is trans people should hide their trans identity, their transness, and they should just you know, go by their expression, right? So let's say it's a trans woman, right? You think that they should just you know, be a woman and tell everybody that they're a woman and never tell anyone ever that they're trans? Why should they do that? Why? Like, if somebody is trans, it's understandable that they might talk about their trans experience. For a regular person, I know there's non-binary stuff. Yeah, I mean, there are non-binary people as well. Yeah, I know. But and that's the thing, like a non-binary person, you know, you can call them they them, but should they also not talk about their transness, or should they just be like, I'm a they them person? Like, no, these people are all trans, okay, and they have similar life experiences, and I think it's important that we hear them and we understand that they are trans, and that's it.
In which we do not determine them to be capable of making life-altering decisions, so they deserve special care. Which is why you can't have sex with a kid.
I'm not okay. I've never. Can we not bring up having?
It's related. It's 100% related.
I don't think about kids having sex or their genitalia or anything like that. Please.
No, that's
It still has an effect on their development.
Wait. Who are you, Leaflet, to determine this? Who are you to determine
They're
this?
children.
Who are you to determine? Who are you to
Children
determine
prefer a
this?
special status in a special protected status in society, in which we do not determine them to be capable of making life-altering decisions, so they deserve special care. Which is why you can't have sex with a kid.
I'm not okay. I'm not.
No, that's not why you can't have sex with a kid. What the fuck? You can't. She just said. It's quite confusing for me, as I would like to understand them, but they make it very hard for me to speak about them in a correct way. So I can explain it to you, and I've been told that I'm good at explaining seemingly complicated things to average people, so this is perfect for me. So please, listen closely. Take notes if you have to. Okay. So gender is an expression. As in, it's the clothes that you wear, it's the way that you talk, it's the makeup you put on or lack thereof. That's what gender is. Okay, it's not, it's related to biology because of the way that we ascribe gender to people. No, it's not. Okay, how? What is gender then? Haha. Okay, I'm listening. If you disagree with what I just said about gender, I am open to hearing what you think gender is. But I'll go ahead and tell you, the scientific community is not agreeing with you. There is a study of a scientific study called sociology. Okay, sociology is the study of society. Okay, and one aspect of society is gender roles. Okay, what are gender roles? Gender roles are roles that we attribute to genders. BRB, alright. Alright, it was nice talking to you.
Never, can we not bring up having
It's related. It's 100% related.
I don't think about kids having sex or their genitalia or anything like that, please. Like, I just don't want to talk about it.
Okay, so, first of all, transness is not sexual. But I understand that that's not really the crux of her argument here. She's making a comparison. Okay, she's saying that, not that transness is sexual, but that, even though she probably believes that, okay, but she's saying that children are incapable of making decisions like who to have sex with, and therefore, you know, they shouldn't be able to make decisions about their gender expression. Okay, but the reason that children cannot consent is because they are easily manipulated, they are coerced, okay, and people attribute this to child transness, right? Children being trans, but it's just not true. Okay, trans kids are not coerced, they are not manipulated into being trans. It is a medical diagnosis made by a psychiatrist, and then they are treated for it. I really believe it's not sexual, but it's about being right. Okay. It's about being right. I mean, sure. I agree with that, I guess. It's about being your truest self. Trans people, they just are, their gender expression is different from what was ascribed to them at birth by their parents, by the doctor that delivered them, by society, yada yada. Okay, gender is just, look, I don't know if you're a man or a woman. I'm a man. I get up every day and I put my clothes on. I put my man clothes on. Okay? And that's why I'm a man. Okay? I speak the way I do. I'm a man. That's what makes me a man. Okay? I try to be a man. That's what gender is. Okay? It is it's the effort that you put in. It's the way you present yourself. That's my point. Okay, it is fun. That makes it fundamentally different from your biology. Biology is something completely different, and you can't mix these things together, because then you start getting really weird outcomes. If only they would just settle being right about themselves, but they have to tell others it's right also. Yeah, They have to tell others it's right. Yeah, so I disagree with you. I resent that. It's not that they are telling other people you have to see me this way. You have to, it is just the way they are. Okay, like, you are going to look at trans women in your life, and you are going to see a woman. That is going to happen. That is inevitable. Okay, if you walk around outside long enough, you are going to see a trans woman, and you're going to have no idea. Because that's how it is. That's how it works. Of course you resent that? Yeah. Yeah, well, I do. Okay, because you're saying that trans people are, like, pushing, they are, like, demanding that, everybody, like, you know, calls them by their correct pronouns. And, well, you can't force people to use your correct pronouns. You can't. Trans people, they might be upset by you using the wrong pronouns. So would you. If you're a man and somebody calls you she, her, if they say you're a woman, right? If they say you're a little girly girl, that's probably going to piss you off a little bit, or it's going to annoy you. And if it happens routinely, if people are constantly doing that to you, then it might make you really upset when it happens. I am and they are. This is so funny. Yeah, I'm glad you think it's funny, man. Yeah. Good for you.
So, Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God.
Like having like this like performative, like, oh my God, this isn't doing anything. Like it doesn't help your point.
You
Like,
can
I'm a
pretend to
person,
not
like,
understand.
this isn't. Yeah, go ahead.
That's
This is what
fine.
you're failing to understand.
Okay, what am I failing
Who
to
are you to determine what is the best outcome for someone else's child and someone else's child's doctor?
Should a parent be able? Should a parent be able
Should a parent be able to talk
submit?
to a doctor? Should a parent be able to talk to a doctor about the symptoms that their child is experiencing, and for that doctor to evaluate them over to a period of time and determine what would be the right course of treatment for them? Like, what's the issue with that?
Should a doctor like John Money be able to make two kids hump each other?
Answer my fucking question.
I can understand you and pretend you don't. I can understand you and pretend you don't. What do you mean by that, man?
I am answering your question.
No, you're not.
I
You're
am.
not. You're not. You're not.
I am.
Minors cannot consent to any medical intervention, so the decisions are made by
Are
parents.
there
and doctors.
things?
I don't know.
Are there things that we determine in society? Are there things that we determine in society that the parents are still not allowed to do their kids?
John Money's not a physician.
Are there things that we determine
Why
in
do
society
my
that parents are not allowed?
haters come in here and they just like you realize you're not the first person to do this, right? You do realize that? You can pretend to not know who I am. You just so happen to stumble upon my stream. You think you don't understand me, but you do. No, I understand most of your comments as they relate to trans people. I just think that you're fucking wrong. Okay, that's all. I disagree with you. Okay, I don't like the things that you are saying because I know them to be false. Why am I wrong? Well, let's go back. Let's look at your comments. So you said you're telling me as a trans she, so is the person a he or she? Haha, you're making it harder than it should be. Don't call a person trans, call them she or he. For a regular person, I know there's non-binary stuff. It's quite confusing for me, as I would like to understand them, but they make it very hard for me to speak about them in a correct way. I then proceeded to explain to you what gender is, as sociologists see it, the scientific consensus, okay? And you said, no, it's not. It's not that, okay? And I can't know for sure what you were implying with that statement, but I assume that you were probably saying something like, gender is biology. And it's not. You are wrong about that, if that's what you were saying. And then you said, haha, BRB, I totally believe it's not sexual, but it's about being right. So I think what you're saying with that statement is that trans women, they demand that you see them just like cis women, okay, which is stupid. And it's especially stupid because you were just saying earlier that trans people should hide their transness. So which is it, man? Do you think that trans women should be honest about their identity and how they're different from cis women? Or do you think that they should hide it? You seem to be holding two different perspectives at once. What the fuck? I didn't say they should hide it. You said Why are we telling someone is trans or they are a he or they are a she? Why doesn't she just cover it? I am having problems with people calling others trans instead of he or she. You're saying that I shouldn't call this person a trans woman. I shouldn't call other trans people trans even though they are. Because it confuses you? Cover. Alright. Hey, cover. You're so right, bro.
Yes,
Cover.
no, are there things that exist? Are there things that exist that parents, that we have determined that parents are not allowed to do to their kids, regardless of them being the caretakers of their kids?
Yes,
Okay.
of course, yes.
So that can be a part of that, yeah?
Well,
That can be considered abuse, yes.
So like, so the professional healthcare.
I have the same logs as you. Yeah, we should have the same logs, yeah.
Be considered abuse, like
Appeal
the
authority.
other things that, because the other things that the parent could do to that child, you know, oh my god, this is.
Is it appeal authority?
Look, if I misinterpreted your words, you can correct me. You know, that's fine. And if I did that, that's my bad. Okay, but that's I'm just saying, I'm just calling it like I see it. Okay, that's the way I see it. You know, I think that you were saying trans people, you shouldn't call them trans, and then at the same time you were like, why do trans people demand that they are just like cis women when no trans person does that? Where did I say people should cover their whatever? Yeah, so let's read it again, okay? Why are we telling someone is trans or they are a she? Why doesn't she just cover it? I am having problems with people calling others trans of she or he. Those are your words, verbatim. That is what you typed and sent into the chat. Alright, scroll up. It's up there. Okay, it's the longest comment that you left. Okay, now, technically, you didn't say that trans people should hide their identity as trans people. Okay, but I inferred that. Okay, if that's wrong, if that is an incorrect inference, then you can correct me. Okay, and furthermore, if I did make a mistake, I preemptively apologize for it. That's my bad. I did not mean to misinterpret your words. I wasn't trying to make a straw man. I was just working with what you typed. Okay, that's
There's
it.
literally recourse for these things. Like, there's studies, recourse. Like,
Yes, we should make it allowed. We should make it allowed. That's it. It's different. For kids, it's completely different.
So because you don't understand anything about our healthcare or how it's done or how it's
nothing to do with
evaluated or yes, this is exactly what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yes, this is exactly-
Leaflet was earlier. She was like, I don't want to learn about trans people. I don't want to learn about
It
it.
has everything to do with kids not being able to consent, and the fact that care
Like,
that you say
It's
that
not
it
the
is.
child's
Yeah,
decision.
man.
It's the parents and the doctors. The child is just providing input in what they're feeling. The parents are the ones like
The kid is
what?
the one who is saying what they are.
They're literally just describing what they're feeling, and then the parent is like, "Hey, my child is feeling this way."
Kids say
And-
all sorts of shit that they don't mean.
And that's why there's an evaluation period with psychologists.
There are a lot of
The-
people that as kids they believe
you
that they're
know how
trans,
long
and then when they
it
become
takes?
adults, they don't want to do it anymore. So do you want to risk all of those people that have
It's such a
The cast study. Come on, bring it up, Leaflet.
It's such a small amount. We're literally 1% of the population, like 1 to 2%. Like it's such a small percent of the people who end up regretting being trans, and it's not even usually because they regret actually transitioning. It's the,
So you're
it's the
saying, like,
societal
So you're
hatred
saying that
towards
there's
them.
such a small amount of trans people.
That is true. That is true, by the way, and I was saying that earlier. First of all, when we're talking about detransitioners, people that are trans and then they detransition, that is a minority of trans people, which is already a small minority. Okay, so trans people are like approximately 1% of the population, and then detransitioners are a very small, I think this person said like 2 to 5%. I thought it was like 1%, okay, but like, let's say it's 5%, okay, 5% of trans people detransition, and a majority of those people say that they detransition not because they wanted to, but because of harassment, because of a lack of support. That's it.
That there's such a small amount of trans people in the world.
Yes. What do you call a 1% of 1% regret rate? Like what? Yes,
Sounds like a damn
it's
good deal
that
to me.
small.
So if we ban it for the 1%, and then like we save everybody else that detransitions later. Sounds like a damn good deal to me.
What? How
Yeah.
do you? What? This doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's mostly female males who are the ones who detransition, by the way.
So do you want special rules that females and males can't do it, but males
No,
can?
no, you just don't
Then what do you
understand. You just don't understand anything
Then what do
about
you
healthcare. You just don't understand anything. I just have to let you know, you know?
I mean, you keep saying that, it doesn't really mean anything, because you're not making a good point.
I mean, I think you've shown throughout this that you don't understand anything about healthcare.
I
A
mean,
little bit that you do. You just use for like dunking on us, so like you don't actually care about the information. You just don't. You just
I mean,
don't.
again, like, you're just
Queen.
making ad hominem attacks.
Queen based.
Yeah, see, like, all you have is ad hominem attacks. Like, that's it. Like, your logic is just weak. Like,
No,
if you can't,
I
if you
provide
can't
a
break
lot
my
of
logic, how are you gonna break anybody in society? I didn't even come here prepared for a trans argument. I didn't even come here prepared for a trans argument.
I didn't come here prepared for a fucking abortion argument. Like, what?
You had a lot of time to get ready for it. You had plenty of time.
You had a lot of time to get ready.
So they decided to transition because of harassment, and then they detransitioned because of the same reason. No, that's not what I said. I said that people transition because they want to transition. They want to express themselves as they see themselves. Okay? And then when they do that, inevitably, they are going to experience harassment. They're going to experience doxing. Okay, maybe not inevitably, doxing. Okay, but they are going to experience harassment. They often have a lack of support in their families, in their community. Yes, that is what you said. No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. And what the video is telling. No, that's not what this person said either. Okay, I did not say that. You can rewind. You can rewind time. Rewind. Actually, I don't know if you can rewind my stream, but I'm telling you, I did not say that. Look at the facts. Do you think that trans people transition because of harassment? What? What is your evidence of this? No, people who are visibly trans, okay, people who identify as trans, they say it, you know, I'm a trans woman, I'm a trans man, they get harassed. They get harassed for it. They get doxxed for it. Okay, they aren't supported by their family members. They reject them. They reject their transness. This is what pushes people to kill themselves, number one, and number two, detransition. That's it. But still, detransitioners are a tiny minority. That's
Ready
it.
for a trans discussion. I told you I was gonna be talking about trans stuff, so like what? Like, holy shit.
But like, your entire argument is emotional. Your entire argument is emotional ad hominem. That's all it's saying.
What was the initial thing I said when I came into the stream? What was the initial thing that I said?
Emotional
I said to you,
ad
I don't have any
hominem.
intentions of being bad faith, and I will make that more clear to you and your audience tomorrow.
You-
I also primarily only speak for myself, but I understand I will be seen as a quote-unquote
That
representative
wasn't
of trans
even
people,
an
so
ad
I'll let you know
hoc.
early, I'm not the type of person to be focusing on this argumentative style like Niara did, so be prepared for that.
Ava has done ad hominem attacks in this debate. I don't know why Leaflet is.
You know,
She didn't call that out.
And we are, and I'm telling
But
you,
now
your argument-
she's calling
Your
out
entire argument is-
non-ad
your entire argument is
hominem
an ad hominem.
attacks as ad hominem.
It's been basically, you don't know anything about this. You don't care about this and this, and then this is what you believe, not what you're saying you believe. So it's like,
No,
how
I've
it-
explained it multiple
No,
times.
that's not ad hom. That's just accurate. You said earlier that you don't want to listen to trans people. You don't want to learn about their life experience, and that was hypocritical, obviously, because you talk about them all the fucking time. What should we call the detransitioners? Which is a long word. How do I talk to that person? Just call them by their preferred pronouns. You know, a detransitioner, they detransition for lots of different reasons. Usually it's because of harassment. I think like 90% of the time or whatever, something like that. But either way, if they are expressing themselves as their assigned gender, then just call them that. What would they declare as their pronoun? Non-binary? No, never. Never. They would go by their birth assignment or whatever. Okay, if they were assigned male at birth, they'll go by he, him. Okay, are you following? Oh, yeah, that's all. Look, man, I know I can be kind of mean. I'm sorry. Okay, I know I can be kind of impatient. That's my bad. I react to this content all day. There's another point. Let's hear it. What they were when they were born. Yeah, so like I was saying earlier, when you are born, you are assigned a gender. Okay, that's what happens. They assess your biology, and then they say, because of your biology, you are this gender. But gender is an expression. Okay, it is not intrinsically tied to your biology. Okay, and I can elaborate further if you would like. but it just isn't, because gender is an expression. This is what sociologists say. There's research behind this. There's a lot of thought that has gone into this. Gender is a game, what we all can play. Yeah, I mean, that's one way of putting it. Gender is theater. Okay, it is a game. It's a charade. Okay, it's an act that we all put on. And that doesn't mean that it is invalid or it's not real. Okay, it is a real thing. It's just not tied to your biology. It is not. I mean, it is not intrinsically tied to your biology, right? It is related to your biology as much as you are typically assigned one gender or the other based on your biological assessment. That's it. Okay, where this gets weird is with intersex people and with people with non-matching chromosomes. Okay, stuff like that.
Over and over and
That's
over
it.
and over and over and over and over and over.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
they'll just ask me, like, I'll say like 2 plus 2 is 4. Is 4. Oh shit, 2 plus 2 is 4. Holy fuck. I'll say 2 plus 2 is 4, and then you'll say, why is the floor wet?
I mean, it's not even remotely close to what's happening, but
Yes, well, yes, that's how fucking ridiculous
I
it
don't
is.
know what
Yes,
you're talking about. Your points
yes.
are incoherent.
Like, what did you say this entire time? Just ban it? Ban all
This
tears?
whole
Just not
debate
get
has
from
been
your data? My only
incoherent.
data is the
I didn't say what I was
cast
going to say.
review.
I said that the data actually proves my point.
Oh, the data that you have, which is the cast review, is
Yeah.
the only data that you really care about?
Yeah, it
Oh,
proves my
okay.
point. How about you? What's your
Yeah, yeah, good point.
I
Good
think
point.
Yeah, again, you don't have data.
Yo,
I'm sorry.
Ava, you should have said that earlier. Like, all she fucking cares is the fucking CAS report. The CAS report. That's all. When it comes to trans people, that's all she ever talks about. Because it is the only set of data that reaffirms her beliefs. But it is literally ridiculed by the entire industry.
It's not a specific study. It has to be. I looked up your study.
Oh.
It wasn't a study. It was a
You didn't
refutation.
look it
No,
up.
I did. I could look it up. I have it.
you know,
It's a refutation. It's a
oh, did you?
refutation. It's a non-peer-reviewed refutation. Is what it is. It's not actually like a study or anything like that.
Oh. I linked you 2 comprehensive analyses to the
No,
cast review.
one was an article. One wasn't
Yes,
even. One was an article by a journalist, and the
Yes.
other one was a non-peer-reviewed
Yes.
critique
One-
that doesn't disprove it.
And the first one was an article describing how the government is just denying.
Yeah, an article.
they're
Anyone
doing-
can write an article.
they're doing- Yes, they're doing studies and
Where's
they're
the
ignoring the
study?
data of the studies.
Where's the study?
Then I linked you the integrity
I am telling you
report
a
of
study.
the.
I'm giving you. I present as my evidence a study that was filed out in
You're-
court.
yes,
Filed out
you're
in court.
using
It's a
a
recent
study
study
to
filed out in court.
yes,
Yours is
you're
like
using-
an article on a website. Like our sources of data are just not even remotely like equal.
You're using a report that was like specifically like tailored to debunk gender affirming care. I don't understand like how you're gonna rely on that report.
The person who admitted it was the person arguing in favor of gender affirming care. So how did that happen?
Oh,
How did that happen? He was pressured so much
really?
that he had-
Really? Is that so?
How did I end up trapped? So what the heck? Holy shit.
And then you bring up something that has nothing to do with anything, and then like you use it as like some kind of gotcha point when it
Yeah,
literally means
yeah,
nothing. You're
dude,
just
yeah.
saying stuff
No, he
that has
was
nothing to do with what we're talking about.
pro-trans.
Like you're literally evading, like you're evading the argument with something completely nonsensical and non-related.
Clean, so based.
I mean,
You're so
I mean,
awesome.
ad hominem again. Like your logic is just not working.
Based. You're so awesome. Holy shit. All right, I think we probably ended up talking long enough.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm not
Hey,
sufficiently
yeah.
convinced on that on either case.
Well, the
So.
point wasn't to convince you. I couldn't care less. But hey, like,
I think you convinced a lot of people though that you convinced a lot of people that like your point is a little weird.
No, I think that people who hate me are gonna hate me, and that's just what it is. Like, whatever.
No, I mean, it's like, listen, there's gonna be people.
Oh,
There's gonna be people that hate you for being.
okay.
There's gonna be people that hate you.
Ava, I agree with you somewhat, but like, you could have done a better job in this
Look at how many
debate,
people hate people for
dude.
whatever reason.
Well,
That's
look,
life.
if people hate other trans people,
And
because
and
of
if
my-
you truly think that it's pointless and that talking to these people is pointless, then I don't know why you did it. Okay, so I don't think you really believe that. I think you saw a point to doing this and you kind of didn't do a great job.
That's so stupid.
That's
No,
not
I'm just talking. No, I'm talking to your audience in general. I don't care what you're saying. I'm talking to your audience. I'm saying if anyone cares less about trans people because of my own conduct today, that's cringe. That reflects poorly on you. Stop being horrible people. Thank you. All right, we can leave now. Bye bye.
Alright, peace. Damn.
Well, that was something.